Morning, this is Clinton Gallagher. Another episode of You Bet Your Ass. Now, I started to tell a story about how I used to think I was a smart guy when I went to get my degree in architecture at the University of Wisconsin Milwaukee School of Architecture and Urban Planning. I graduated in '86. And the university has required credits that you have to obtain in order to get any degree in any school there. So I was looking around in the curriculum guide, and what could I take that's going to be easy to meet my credits, right? And you had to go to algebra this and trigonometry that for your math credit. And I went, oh shit, I can't stand that stuff anymore. I had enough of that when I was young and a young genius in the California schools, and everybody literally flooded me, asking me, how do I do this, Clinty? How do we do that, Clinty? And then they brought me to the Milwaukee public school system. That ability to compute in my mind mathematically, it disappeared. I actually acquired phobia for using the calculators, and when they first came out, I went, "Oh, that's math." Something happened in my mind. Well, so I also saw in a curriculum guide there then you could take this course in philosophy, which counts for 3 credits in your mathematical sciences. So I says, I'm a smart guy. Who's not a philosopher? To be or not to be, ain't it? Ain't that the question? Well, okay. What I was to learn, Mr. Smart Guy, was this course in philosophy was one that had used a form of calculus called predicate logic to calculate computational linguistics, words, statements, things like syllogisms. What is a syllogism, you might ask? All men are mortal and must die. Socrates is a man. Ergo, Socrates must die. Now, if you look at that logically, the first statement, all men are mortal and all men must die, is a conjunction. It consists of 2 parts. Only one side is true, and the other side must also be true for a conjunction to be true. This you'll find out gets mapped in algebra as A plus B. That kind of logical manifestation occurs in notation, and predicate logic had its own notation. It was very much symbolic of mathematical notation used in calculus, and it was and is a form of calculus. The calculus is not used to determine the structural integrity of a beam or a truss, as it might be for an architect to ensure, working with a structural engineer who does the calculations using calculus. But it's a form of calculus used to determine what's true and what's false. That's how our AI bots are working today. They work with computational linguistics. You've heard a lot about this is how they work, that's how they work. I'm just explaining to you how the mathematics of the calculus works. And that you can bet your ass.